In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why it's time to break out of the matrix, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you can break out of the matrix, understanding that at a certain level we do live in a form of matrix. Now when I say this, there may be some hesitancy because you may assume that it's like the movie Matrix where we live in a computer simulation. It's more so about understanding that we live in a holographic reality. Now what this means is that we normally think everything around us is 100% completely real. However, what physics shows us is that the world that we think is real is actually made out of very non-real elements. Now, the thing with this is understanding that we are more than our physical ego structure. We are more than these sense perceptions we have. We may interpret our reality through the five senses. You can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. However, those are just interpretations of vibration that we use in order to go about our reality, in order to relate to reality. Now, the thing is when we're born on earth, what happens is we forget who we are through social conditioning, through the way that we're brought up. We forget that we are immortal, spiritual beings living very temporary human experiences. And because we forget that, many of us will then go through a lot of pain. We'll go through a lot of experiences that show us how we don't want to be, or show us things that make us in a way wake up, things that cause pressure, so that on the other side of it we start to wake up to more of who we are. And maybe, most likely, if you watch my channel and you're even watching this video, then you are already open to this type of idea, because you cannot perceive that which you are not the vibration of, which means that at a certain level you may know that this is true for you, and that this is something that the way reality actually works. Now the thing is understanding that it's more about understanding organic, that we are organic. It's not a computer simulation the way that you would think. It's about just understanding that, in a way, use this as a metaphor. This is the metaphor. We come to earth, we forget who we are, even though we are immortal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences, because in order for us to take this game of reality seriously, not that we need to take it seriously, but to take it into where we believe in it, we have to forget that that is who we are. In the same way that you're playing a video game, and if you were playing a video game and you knew the whole entire time that it was just a video game, you may be a little bit more lax about it. You may do some things with it and kind of go a little bit crazy because, hey, it's just a video game. Well, in this quote-unquote game of life, what we do is we forget who we are, because part of the game is to remember who we are. Just like in the movie The Matrix, when Neo starts to remember who he is, or he gets these signs, follow the rabbit, it's a similar type idea. And right now, you are following the rabbit. And in this video, this is the rabbit that is showing you a little bit more about yourself than maybe you have known before, or about how reality actually works. Now, I'm going to generalize a lot of things, and just because this video is only going to be about 20 minutes long, not much more than that. So when I generalize it, understand there may be a couple more elements to it, but this is just to give you a general basis for the way that reality works. Now, you are a multidimensional being, meaning you exist here right now. You may be watching this video, you may be driving your car listening to it, you may be at home looking at this video, wherever it is. You're watching this video right now, but you are also a multidimensional being, meaning you exist at many different layers at the same moment, at right now. When you go to bed at night, you wake up to these higher states of consciousness. You just don't remember, because once again, we're meant to be here right now. And if you knew that in higher dimensional states of consciousness you are unconditional love and bliss, being here may not be as desirable, because you'd be like, I just want to go back up there. But remember this, there's a reason we're here right now, and I'll talk about that a little bit as well. However, it's about being aware of that understanding that you exist at many different levels at the same time, because when you're aware of that, it changes the game. You start to relate to life differently. And because there is this multidimensional type existence that we have chosen to be here right now, because right now is a time of transformation on the planet. Just find if this resonates with you on the inside. Go within right now and ask, does this resonate with me? You are here right now because there is a transition going on in the planet where their vibration is continuing to raise more and more. Think about how different it feels right now than it felt a couple years ago. Even 10 years ago, it felt so different. Time, the perception of time has sped up. Of course, time doesn't exist the way we think it does, but our vibration is speeding up, which means our perception of time is also speeding up. And where do I get this information? Well, I've shared this information before. There is Dolores Cannon, who passed away recently, but she has that of 17 or 21 books that are transcripts of people that have been in what is called QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, which is one of the deepest levels of hypnosis where the higher self can come through and answer questions. We all also have a higher self because we're multidimensional. This higher self is part of us. It is just a part of us that has a larger perspective of our life in general, and it's the one that also helps to kind of regulate our life in a certain way, kind of help us make appointments that we've decided before we were alive, and to go and to stay on the right track. So our higher self is still us. However, one of the things that we decided was that we are going to go through this transition right now. And how do we know that? Because Dolores Cannon's books, thousands and thousands of people from all over the world that did not know each other have been in this hypnosis and have said, we came here for the shift in consciousness. We came here right now because there is an evolution on the planet happening, because there's this quickening of vibration. You can also check out the Law of One, the raw materials, which is one of the most classic channeled material of all time. And it is information that will show you that there is this density harvest, it's called the harvest in the book, going on right now, where there is a time when everything is condensed to where there's this quickening of vibration that's happening where we can evolve even faster. Now, that's what makes this place so beautiful. Earth is a place where so many different beings come, so many different connections come, and we have this experience, we forget who we are, and it's a beautiful thing because right now what we're doing is we're remembering who we are. Now, one of the reasons this has happened to where we have decided to come here is because we also want to help shift the timelines of the probable Earths of what could happen. Now, there is this little bit of a negative aspect when we look at the Matrix. You could think of these like the agents in a way. And this is not something to be fearful of. The more fearful of it you are, the more it almost feeds that reality. But there are people that are quote unquote running certain things, or they think they're running certain things. And you call these the back government. Some people call it the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it. Point is honestly they're losing the power that they've had for so long. Now here's what they know, and here's what they know about this Matrix. The idea and the understanding is that our thoughts are creating our reality. So if you control what the people consume and what the people believe to be true, you then control the reality. And then when you control the reality, you can play it according to how you want if you're these elite people that can have it to where they live the kind of lifestyle they want with everyone else kind of in the dark. So they know this stuff though. So what they do is they control the media. They control all the different things that are coming into our sense perceptions. They control certain events that happen in the world that spike certain emotions, collective emotions of billions of people, and because of that it causes a certain ripple. Now like I said, I don't mean for this to be negative, but I am going to address it because then it makes us more aware of why things are the way they are and how you can in a way disengage from it. So they know this. They know that our thoughts create our reality. And they know that we are what's powerful. The people are what's powerful because when we all come together with a unified focus, that will influence the world. Just like if you ever heard of the Maharishi effect. The Maharishi effect is where 5,000 meditators, I think it was 5,000, meditated on peace and love in a certain part of the world. And what happened is crime decreased by 70-something% because they meditated, that many people meditated on one unity focus. That's how powerful thoughts are. So sometimes we think, oh, thoughts are just our thoughts on our mind. No, thoughts are an electromagnetic energy that adds to the reality we live in. So as we become aware of this, we can then see that for a long period of time, there has been a certain level of control where we look at the money system. To be honest, the money system is a form of control. I still use it. It's not like, if you have a negative relationship with it, then you want to attract more of it. However, you do it with awareness. So the money system itself, you look at the media, you look at the way the banks are corporately owned, you look at all these things, that's just the way it is. Once again, I'm not trying to give it negative energy, I'm just giving you the observation of it so you can see why it is the way it is. Now, in a way you could say that certain influences of this back government, whatever you call it, is influenced by, you could say, certain also remember, we're multidimensional, right? So there could be certain negative entities, negative people that want to have the kind of experience where they control things. It's an older paradigm. Think of it as like the 3D paradigm. You got 3D. 3D is duality. 3D is control. That is the old paradigm that we're moving out of, and we're moving into more of a fourth density or fifth dimension level of consciousness, which is more of unconditional love. So because of this, what happens is there's certain influences, the negative influences of this group of people and how they run the world and the beliefs they have about they have to have the power, so keep everyone else in the dark. However, because of that, they've been able to keep people into the matrix of their own minds. You see, the matrix is something that is within our own mind. The matrix is our thought processes, is the way that we relate to the world. It's what we believe to be true. That is what the matrix is. So breaking out of the matrix isn't necessarily about breaking out of a place and going to some fifth dimensional heaven. Breaking out of the matrix is about breaking out of your own mind and understanding that you can go beyond. It is about breaking out of the autopilot mind and the reactive mind to everything that's happening. You notice that the news is all negative things because it keeps you in survival mode. If you keep people in survival mode, it keeps them in a lower vibrational state of consciousness to where then they don't question their true power, knowing that they are a spark of creation and that they can create whatever they want in their lives. However, what's happening on the planet right now is more and more people are waking up. More and more people are waking up to who they are. More and more people are waking up that there's more than this ego, physical construct body that we interpret our reality through with the five senses. There's more to reality than the five senses. And we are becoming aware of that right now, and over the next period of time on the planet, it's going to continue to avalanche. It's avalanching right now. Look at channels like mine on YouTube and people in similar niches as me. Look how quickly the channels are growing. There is a demand for this information because it is time to wake up out of the matrix of our own mind and into a state of being our fifth dimensional selves. Now, what's the main difference between the 3D and 5D? 4D is debatable. Some people say just the 4D is the element of time. 4D I would like to think of as kind of like a dream state as well. Our reality is becoming much more like a dream because it's becoming much more flexible. So right now in our life, what we're doing is we're becoming more aware that life is meant to be like a dream. And because it's flexible, guess what? There's more malleability in it. You can direct things in a powerful way. So this is about having that awareness that you are more than your body, you are more than the physical ego construct, and that the more you begin to tap into this, the more powerful you end up becoming. Now, breaking out of the matrix is about really observing your thoughts and disengaging from the survival mechanism of the reactive mind. It's a choice that you make. Make a choice that you're going to observe your thoughts more. Make a choice that from now on, when people irritate you, you observe what they say from a neutral perspective. Know that you are not your body, you are not your mind. That is not who you are. The you I'm speaking to right now is the larger consciousness aspect of you that goes much further beyond that of the five senses and the ego. You see, the more that you tap into this awareness of who you really are, which is this being that's beyond what you can imagine, the more that you end up embodying that version of you, that level of energy. So when you get to that level 2, things manifest even easier. Really the goal or the purpose of breaking out of the matrix is because then you raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you raise your emotion and how you feel. When you raise your vibration, you then become more than just the ego physical construct that's always engaged, the stimulus response, things are happening to me. No, that's when you shift the gears and you go more into engaging with life. Choosing the thoughts you think, choosing the momentum you have. That's where the power really is. And you can tap into that right now by tapping more into your authentic expression. Even just putting your hands over your heart for a couple minutes a day, Brings the awareness into your heart and out of your head. Because remember, the matrix is in your own mind. The matrix is what you believe to be true. The matrix is the autopilot mind, and the more that you disengage and you go more into your heart is the more you go into the 5D level of consciousness, which is unconditional love. You see, in 5D level of consciousness, we know that we are all connected. So what we do to someone else, we do to another aspect of ourselves. That's why what goes around comes around, because that other person that you do something to is another aspect of you at a deeper level of consciousness. That's what 5D awareness is about. So the matrix of our mind is something that we can begin to disconnect from as well by not feeding it as much attention. When we watch the news, we are feeding it attention. What reality are you feeding with your thoughts? Because the way that this back government, or whatever we call it, the way they look at it is wherever attention goes is wherever energy goes. Whoever has the most attention for a presidential election wins, regardless if it's positive or negative. Whoever has the most attention, because wherever attention goes is where energy goes. So where is your energy? Are you engaging in the news? Are you engaging in negative things? Are you engaging with people that are bringing your vibration down? Because if so, you can make a choice right now that your happiness and your vibration is more important. And then what you can do is learn to observe your thoughts. Learn to know that you can go beyond the mind. You can go beyond the 5 senses that you interpret your reality from. And as you do that, you begin to transform your life in a very powerful way. So that's what you can begin to do, is to understand you are more. To observe your thoughts, know that you are not your mind. I have one of the most powerful meditations I've created. It's newer meditation. It's on shifting your level of consciousness. When you listen to it for 21 days, I think it will profoundly change your life. It's in the top of the description box below. Listen to it for 21 days and see what happens. Also, I'm going to be doing more live Q&As on Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, I do live Q&As almost every day there. Plus, I do daily content there as well. So if you haven't followed me there already, you'll see that right over here. You can follow me on Instagram. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification here next to the subscribe button so you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.